Okay, today we're talking about super of inheritance. And remember we talked about inheritance where another class can extend another class, and by that extension it receives all the methods in fields that are public. And everything except for the constructor. Even though the constructor is public, it does not inherit the other class's constructor. That's where super comes in. There are times where we need to run the other class constructors, and we use super to gain access to methods in the upper class and or constructors. So today's lesson is about super, the keyword super. And super can be used in a class to refer to its parent class. A parent's constructor can be invoked using the super reference. And super also allows us to reference members of the parent class, talking about methods as well. Okay, the first line of a constructor uses the super reference of the parent class. This way the parent class always initializes its variables before the child class. So if you're using super in another constructor, in a child class constructor, it's always good to use super on the first line of code and then anything else follows. And we'll discuss that more in our example that's coming up. But the first line should always be for the super through the constructor if you want to run the parent constructors first and then the child constructors second. Okay, you can also, what happens if a child and a parent class share the same method name and signature? All child class method overrides the parent. So what they're saying is, what happens if we had two methods called move? One in the parent's class, one in the child's class. And since the child class inherits move from the parent class, and you call move, which move would it run? The one from the parent class or one from the child class? Why, by this says the child class will override the parent's method that is inherited. So the child class move will run if you call the object move. It will actually run the child's class move, not the parent, even though it did inherit the parent's class or method. Okay, so let's take a look example of super and how we use super with constructors. Okay, so here I have three classes. Okay, one's called pet, and as you see, pet is the parent class. And notice it has name up here as a field, and it's private. So when I extend pet from the dog class will not have access to name directly. Pet also has a constructor. It has two constructors. Notice it has the same name as the class, and this constructor is the default constructor. It takes in no arguments, and notice it just says I'm the default constructor. That's all. I want to show you that. And we have one constructor that takes in a string and it assigns name to n, and we have a method called getName, and we'll call that in a little bit from the child's class. Okay, so that is pet. Dog, which extends pet. Now notice dog doesn't need a name because since names are in pet, there's no use of replicating that. Okay, we can always use name from pet. We don't have to use name in dog. Okay, because all pets have names, so it's better to store it up there than in its child class. It does have a default constructor right here, and it also has another constructor right here that takes in a string and assigns n name that comes in as an n, and we call super. Now this super here will run the constructor of the parent's class. That takes in one argument. So let's go back to the parent class, and here is the parent class that takes in one argument, which is a string. It comes in as n, and we assign name equal to n. Okay, and that stores it inside of name up here inside of pet, not dog, inside of pet. This is the client. This is basically your main program. We create an object of dog. Remember, dog extended pet, so it receives everything from pet as well. And this dog we're going to go ahead and call it Waldo. Okay, and this Waldo is the string coming in, and notice we did system out waldo.getName. So let's run this. Okay, now remember Waldo is an object of dog. Okay, and remember dog extends pet. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this, and you see Waldo comes up. Okay, so what happens here is we create this object called dog, Waldo, of dog. It comes in here because it runs this constructor here. Waldo comes in as n. Okay, and Waldo goes down here as n, and super calls the constructor from pet, and it actually runs this constructor here, and n gets assigned to name. Now notice getName is a method inside of pet, not dog, but since dog extends pet, dog has access to that method because it is public. Okay, so if we go back to our main, where I go here Waldo, which is dog, .getName, even though dog does not have a method called getName, it has access to getName from the pet. So it actually runs the pet getName because it inherits that method. Okay, so hopefully you have a good understanding of that with use of super. Okay, let's make some changes to this. First of all, let's run. Let's call the default constructor of dog. Okay, so here I create Waldo equals new dog. I'm passing in no arguments. That means inside of dog, it's going to run this one. And I just want to go ahead and run this super constructor, which is the default constructor of pet. And remember, the default constructor of pet is this one right here. And it's going to write, I am the default constructor, just to show you that it ran. Okay. Now, since I made the changes here, I got to build this. And I can go ahead and run this, run the project. And I am the default constructor. Notice it output null here. Okay, and why did it output null? Well, right here we call Waldo.getName. Okay, and this is where the null came from, because we call getName. And remember, dog inherits getName right here, and it returns name. And notice we did not assign anything to name this time around, like we did last time. Last time we assigned Waldo. This time we didn't assign anything to name, so name is null by default. Okay, so that's why I outputted the null down here. Okay, because we didn't assign anything to name. That explains super using constructors. Okay, so let's say I have another method and public string, and I'm gonna I know it's bad programming, but I'm in a rush. They only give me 15 minutes to record this, and I'm gonna return parent for the parent class. Okay, and I have this method called x. Okay, and it returns parent. Okay, let's say I need to build that just so it works. Okay, I go in dog, and I also have a method public x, and it returns a string. I hope I put string on the other one. I can't remember if I did. I'll find out here shortly. And I'm returning child. Okay. And I got to build this, make sure there's no errors. And in the client, I'm going to call Waldo.getName. method X. Now, since dog inherit pet, it also has X as a pet and an X method as dog. So which one does it run? So let's see. Let's run this project. And it runs the child. Okay. And again, the child overrides the parent all the time. Since both of them had the method X, the child ran because it override the pet method, even though dog has access to both of them. So let's try something crazy here. Let's use super dot X. See what happens there. Now I use super dot X. I could use super dot the method and it would run the parent class. It should run the parent class. So let's just double check to make sure I'm correct. Oops, I have an error. What happened? Please define main method. Oh, I tried running the dog class. Okay. Whew. Let's run the client. There we go. Okay, so again, I have to build that. Okay. And run that. Okay, so it's still running. I'm the default section on the child. For some reason, it's not recognized. Super.x. And I have to get back to that. What does super.x? Oh, okay. So what I need to do, let's do this. It does run that method, but it doesn't output that method. So let's just do this. System dot out dot print line. Had me confused there for a second. Parent. What I was doing is I actually ran it. It returned a string, but the string wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't being stored or wasn't being outputted. And then it ran the child class, which returned the child. Okay. So just shows you here, I'm system out and print line parent, just to show you that this one will run. Okay. So again, I got to build this one. Go back to client, and let's go ahead and run this. And I should get parent and child this time. There we go. So just to show you that the parent did run. The last time it didn't run was mainly because I returned parent. Parent was returned here, but wasn't doing anything. It didn't get outputted, didn't get stored. It was just out in space. And then it returned child back to client, and that's why child was outputted first. But this shows you that the parent one did run, because I put this system here, it ran this by using the word super. So by using the word super dot the method, I could run the parent class. Okay, so I can run the parent class method up above by using super dot. I'm running out of time here, so hopefully that explains super. You can find more information online, on YouTube videos, on Google, whatever it takes to learn how to use super. It is part of the AP subset. They usually have a free response involving some type of super, so make sure you get to know how super works. The next lesson will be on the keyword this. Okay, and then we still got abstract, polymorphism, interface, the object class, so we got a lot more videos to go. Watch this again. Make sure you have a good understanding, read the chapters, and have a good night. Enjoy programming.